last night I had a phone call about 5 o'clock and, oh! Get in there, fish on. No, it's come off. Damn! Shall I carry on? Yeah. Okay. So yeah, last night I had a phone call about 5 o'clock. Have you fished Chigborough before? The answer was no. 24 hours later, here I am. And I got here actually this morning and I've had a good look around and trying to work out this lake. Done a little bit of stalking. There's fish all over me, they're in the weed, they're feeding on something, but they don't seem to be taking my bait. Apparently this is a fly and swim. I've been incredibly lucky because when I turned up here, there was actually nobody here whatsoever. So, the person actually called me yesterday and said, have you fished it before? He's going to be joining me later. So yeah, he should be in about, I reckon about an hour's time. And it's just going to come into dark. He's fished it a few times, so he may show me how to fish this venue. So we'll see. I'm gutted about that. Damn, try again. So we've finally got the rods out, and as I said earlier, we have a guest. We've got Kyle has joined us, and yeah, you fished it before, haven't you?
It's been a few years since I've been here. A good 2.5, 3 years ago. It's a beautiful venue, cracking. It's got a lot of beautiful carp in here.
So what have you had out of here?
Never got amongst the real big ones.
Yeah.
But we had them up to 28.
Well,
nice, big 28 mirror, nice plated mirror. Full moon, big common?
Yeah. Big moon, big common, yeah, yeah. They're old, dark, gnarly looking things.
They are, mate, they are.
That's it's a bit of us, isn't it? That's a bit of us.
Yeah, it's a day ticket venue, isn't it? Yeah. So it's busy.
Yeah, and it has got really busy because when I turned up this morning, it was just me on my own, and now look at it, it's absolutely rammo.
So it's pitch black and they're still turning up.
They're still turning up. We've even had guys next door pull the boat out of the water to fish the weedy bit. So yeah, it's oh, go on. Yeah,
That's what you want, right? That's why we're here.
Just starting to get a few liners now. Now it's
Yeah. So what I remember when I was last here, it tended to be evening bites.
Was it?
In the evening. It's slowing during the day,
yeah.
but definitely.
They were showing themselves earlier. They was all in that weed down there, and I tried stalking them out a little bit. I spent a little bit of time trying to stalk them out, and they was a little bit sort of like shy. I took the lead clip off, the lead off, and just had the lead clip. I was casting over the top of the weed, and I was just skimming it back across the top, and just letting it drop into the holes. And I actually dropped one, and it landed on the back of a fish, and then the fish moved, but I thought it actually mouthed it. I thought it mouthed the bait, it disappeared, but it just rolled off its back. I was like, Jamie, is it picked it up? He's like, no, it just fell off its back. It was mad.
And I'm looking forward to see what tomorrow or tonight brings, shall we say?
We've got a couple of days, haven't we?
Yeah,
so.
got a couple of days here. Have a good stab
And
here.
we're on some flying swims, so
These are known good pegs in here.
fate is in our own hands. When I turned up, there was a lot of fish out here. There was fish everywhere.
It's the biggest section in the lake. It holds the most water.
And now it's got busy. All these little corners and things where we've got a lot of
All
pressure,
the nooks and
particularly
crannies,
down.
the margins, the snags.
They're going to push out into this main body of water, and there's only me and you fishing it.
Traps are set, right?
Exactly.
And the anglers are still turning up now, getting their rods out.
Yeah, and I'm feeling quietly confident that we're going to have something.
Yeah.
But I always do feel confident.
Yeah.
But there's going to be a time where I'm going to fall flat on my face. And
No, I think we're in a good chance. I say it's just.
Well, my money's on you anyway, because you're a regular.
3 years ago, I'll take regular. Listen, always confident. We're here, we're doing it. We've got a good go at it. Yeah, I feel good. I was in a bit of a deep sleep as well. It was quite nice. Yeah, and that was just sitting on that bar we found. I hope it's a carp. But you are right, it's a carp. It's a carp in the net. It's a start, isn't it? So here we go, first fish. Probably just gone 12 o'clock now. So I'm going to get these rods back out, going to hit repeat, see if we can get amongst a few of the bigger ones in here. But here we go, it's a good start to the session, right?
Quiet night for me last night, and I had a really awkward night's sleep, couldn't get comfortable, got a bit of a dodgy shoulder and I kept rolling on it. But Kyle had one last night, and I think he'd lost one this morning, so I understand, but I think he said that was a cat, so I'm sure he's not particularly bothered about that fish. The lake is very different today from yesterday, where I was fortunate enough to have the lake to myself. We're now fully booked Ramo, and that is showing on the lake itself. There's no signs of movement, there's no fizzing like there was yesterday. Yeah, it's just a completely different vibe. So now I've got to make the decision. What I'm doing it's not spurring a bite on, so now I need to spur a bite on, get the fish in my swim and hold them here. So I'm going to scratch my head for a little bit longer, work out a game plan, and you're going to see a few changes today and try and work out the best way to fish this lake. When I cast it out the second time, it was literally like straight away.
You felt the drop?
I felt it was, yeah, well, I knew it was shallower than what it was before, but there was a difference from holding the rod up here, hitting the lead clip, to hitting it there. It was just that much difference. We're talking like 6 foot difference between a shelf and a hole.
It's quite a big hole as well, to be fair. So that's, you were, when you sent it out, you were centre of the dip in the rushes.
That's right, yeah.
You are now well off the rushes to the left, and you still got deep water.
There's my spot.
That's the deeper bit.
That's what I was getting the 3.5 second drop with, which is 7 foot water. So that confirms that.
But there you go. Let's come back up again.
But
it is only a small hole.
It's a small hole. You go one rod length out, you're off it.
We've marked the spot though, right?
Yeah, and I pretty much now I can see it from here. I can see where the hole is with the silhouette of the shadowing on the water. I know where it is. Yeah. So it's coming from. It's going from the corner of the island, it's coming into this corner, look. So it doesn't come across from island to island, it comes in at this angle.
I won't get in them depths out there.
6 foot.
It's coming back up again slowly now.
So it does shallow a little bit now. So I was literally just standing in the other swim talking to a couple of guys, and my left-hand spot out there is absolutely pluming up at the moment. Jamie went down to my other rod just to reset my bobbins, just so there was a nice uniform so we could do a few pictures. And when he was down there, this rod's gone. And it was the rod that I put out on the far margin, up against that island under the snags. Now it's really hard to tell the size, but it's not scrapping like a real small fish. I've got that little head bob. So I don't know, it's so hard to tell. I'm going to get it in now, it's going to be a really small fish, but it's just hugging the bottom. Yeah, it's changed, it's looking really looking good for a few bites now. I was more excited about what I'm seeing going on in that little area out there. Like I say, it's sheeting up, I'm seeing fish move in, move out. Oh, it's still fizzing up out there now. The fish are here. They've moved into this area. And I think what's happened is because the lake's so busy now, all this line pressure around the lake, they've moved out into this centre body where there's only me fishing. It's like a little, it's not big. It's not big. But it's a fish. It is. It's got a little stumpy head on it. It's got a nice colour, yeah. Let me just step back. There we Yes. One notched off.
Nicely done, mate. Nice fish, Mark.
It is a nice fish, actually.
A bit bigger than you thought.
It's very dark. It's very pretty, this fish. Very pretty. So this is what we came here for. Look at that. Absolute banger. Real dark common. It's not massive, but it's got a bit of age to it, this fish. It's been in these waters a long, long time. And I'm off the mark. And as I just mentioned in that last little video footage, I've got my left hand pre-baited spot now, clouding up. And I'm feeling very, very confident for another bite. So let's get this back straight away. Well, she's just gone back in and I've got that rig back out on that same spot out there. I've already mentioned that today seems to be a little bit different from yesterday. And there's a few things that are factored into that. Yesterday, the wind was pushing into that corner. It's now swung back around and it's coming into this central body. The spot which I've baited up, we've obviously talked about, that's starting to sheet up now and there's plumes of silt coming to the surface, so I know they're there. But what we're seeing now in front is fish in this central body just under the surface. Now, they weren't there yesterday, they're there now. I'm getting a few liners on my middle rod, but I've got a relatively tightish line going out to that island, so effectively I'm fishing for liners as well. I'm trying to find out where they are in them layers. I know I've got about 3 foot of water in front of me just here. It shallows off to 2 foot on that side, and as we move out between the two islands there's various holes going down to about 7 foot. I'm feeling quite confident now. You just feel it, you know, you feel something's going to happen, and by all the indications of what we're seeing out there now, I just don't think it's going to be too long before we hopefully get another bite. But it's fishing, so who knows? It might not be the case, but I'm always optimistic for that next bite. And I think you've got to be when you're fishing, because there's no point going otherwise, is there?
It's been a long night. Black skies glowing.
Right, so I've just popped down to the other end of the lake. As you can see, it's very quiet down here. I did have a little look down here this morning, and I say there was quite a few fish showing. And I say Mark would have probably filled you in on the camera earlier. It's very pressured on this venue today, so it's a nice little safe haven. There's a little channel here. Oh, it's just rolled out there. So what we're going to do, we're just going to sprinkle out a few crumbs, a few chops, see if we can get something going for early tomorrow morning. So I'm just going to get some bait out quickly.
So it's been a little bit quiet this afternoon, despite all the activity on my area, and there's a good reason for that, because the swans moved in and spent half the day actually smashing the bottom up down there. I still think there's fish there, and while the swans were there, they kept giving it the turning their head and the malarkey over the top of the carp, so I think they're still there. So what I've done is I've rebaited up the area now. I've changed to 2 hinge stiffs, and I've got one with yellow and one with pink, and I've just literally put that over that area. Now that particular area hasn't done me a bite, and despite all the activity in the fish there, I'm now wondering why. So I've been using wafters and bottom baits, so now I'm actually going to pop it up literally 1.5 inches off the bottom, sitting on top of that layer of small particle that I put up there. So when the fish are moving around, hopefully it's just going to stick out and it might just create that inquisitive bite. But again, I'm still very confident about a spot, and I think coming into night, I think that one's going to come into its own. Regarding the one over the back there, I've just brought that in just to do a bit of a re-rig, and it's been out there for the last 4 hours I think actually, attached to a twig. As soon as I picked it up, it's just locked tight, and yeah, I've cast my rig into a twig. So yeah, redoing that now. So that's gone back on there. I've got a nice German rig. I've created a long hair, single bait, matching the hatch sort of thing, and I'm going old school with some stringers, and I'm just going to put 5 of my Spotlight Specials on here, incredibly dissolvable, and that should get enough attraction in that area with minimal amount of bait, all concentrated around my rig, and hopefully that should do the business. So that's it, that's a little update for you, and I'm going to get this rod out.
Yeah, so me and Mark just discussing some changes, changing up the colours out there. We decided to go for the more washed out look, the whites. And what's it been? Hour and a half out there since the redone. And yeah, off it goes. I don't think it's a cat, I hope it ain't. To be fair, it's kind of been coming in at me. Just decided to wake up. I do like to lose the lead. Sorry, I've gone quiet. It's because you get nervous. You're just focusing. Oh, pinged. Complete snap off on something. Let's reset. Literally just spat the hook. Must have been 15-20 yards out in front of us. But we won't let it beat us, we'll reset, stick to the changes and go again. Yeah mate, we've got this.
So, I had a run a little while ago on that back margin of that island, and it didn't really, well, it didn't come to anything, there was nothing on the end, but it was a proper up, bobbing up to the top. I've literally re-rigged it back up. Oh, here we go. Now it's woken up. Put a fresh bait on, a garlic and cheese dissolvable. I put it back out on the same spot, and it's gone pretty instantly. And now it's going round to coral swim. Come on, back you come, you little bugger. Thanks, mate. Wow. Yes. Yes, 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 yes. And it's really early as well. It's, what's the time? It's only like 10 o'clock, isn't it?
Time for more, right?
It's loads of time.
That's what we want.
Feels proper carpy tonight.
Let's get set. Well, we was just dealing with Mark. I've just come back to get my hat and then off this rod. So we chose a spot down the right hand margin, put a little bit of pellet, little tiger nut, hookers only in here, and yeah, we're in. Gonna gently walk back, loose clutch. If he wants to go, I'll let him go. Get in. Come on, double take. Let's have it.
Double fish pick.
Nicely done.
So it's carnage at the moment. It's like I just rung up Deliveroo. The boys are now having a feed, sitting under that tree, eating their Deliveroo and we're picking them out. There's definitely some feeding patterns, isn't there? You know what I mean? They're like us. Yeah, it's their dinner time. Let's take the other rod out. Let's go into that patch where the other rods are. That's gone from one side of the lake right across into that weed. We knew exactly where he was going.
Yeah, go on.
Go on then, boy. A bit mayhem.
There's a bit of carnage to sort out, but it's in, right?
Right. I'm lost for words at the moment. All I want to do is sort that out, get that in a retainer, and get these rods back out pretty quick while they're having a bit of a feed. Because if we hit that opportunity now where they're having an hour feed, this is the crucial part, getting these back out quick. I don't know if you're going to have your sleep tonight. Bit of water, sir.
Yeah, cheers, mate.
Oh,
It's actually quite refreshing on the hand.
that is quite nice, isn't it? So, this is what started off to be a double take. A couple of little commons, and then it actually resulted in a triple take. And the third fish that I've just landed is a little bit bigger than this one. So, yeah, we'll put these back in and we'll have a look at this bigger fish. Lovely. So there's the third. It's a little bit bigger, but we want a lot bigger. There's another dark, nice common, and these have been in this lake for quite a long time. Quite an old strain by the looks of it. There we go. Another quick look at her. See if we can get one of these mirrors out. It'd be nice. In. Yes. There you go. Another one, slightly bigger. Another very, very dark common. And I think this is number 4. It's a mirror. Hehe. That's what we wanted. What we want, something a little bit different. We've got it, haven't we? Got a different one. Well, we got our first common. No, we haven't got our first common. And we're slowly knocking off what we wanted. We've now had commons. We've got the mirror, which is the less common species in this lake. And the only thing we need now is one of the big ones. Go and have a little soak down there. Go on.
How long marks for the next one?
Well, going by the pattern, it's sort of like every hour to half hour. Yeah. I'm not going to lie, I feel absolutely shattered. I just want a big one now, just to make it worth it. I'm not complaining. I like. Well, I am, yeah. I like catching these fish, but I just want one of these big ones now. I don't want to be woken up to another smaller one. I just want a big one. So I'm going to give you a little bit of a talk now about what went on last night. And from 12 o'clock onwards till 4 in the morning, it was just non-stop action. I started to get a few bream around about 4 o'clock. So what I've done is I just brought the rod in, the middle rod, which was doing all the action, and just left it to the side. I left my other 2 out there, which were on hinge stiff rigs. So a different type of rig to the fish, well, a different type of rig to what I've been catching on. So I've rested the swim till about 8 o'clock, and I'm going to now change everything to the same rig, and that's my German rig, which I have a lot of success on, and I'm going to put all 3 rods now out along that margin with the spice and a garlic and cheese dissolvable pellets from Dynamite. And the combination between the two, a spicy fish meal with this garlic and cheese. I've got hydrolyzed liver around the outside, soaked in the boilies as well. And there's just so many feeding attractions there, which carp love. So yeah, that's what we're going to do. We can get all 3 rods out on the same tactic, and let's see how this plans out from here. So, I had a little bit of a change this morning, and I've put all 3 rods now on the same tactic with what I was getting the fish last night on. I've put them out there. I've had one take, which we've just landed, and it's there. And the rod that I've just literally put back out, the same rod, middle rod again, it's just gone within a couple of minutes. I don't want it. I've got to go over the top of the other lines, that's the thing. It's only shallow it, and it's going for that weed. It was behaving, it's not now. Just letting it kite back across this side because I want to net it in this deeper water. It's another oh, it is a bigger fish, isn't it? It does look a bit bigger. Right, I'm just going to walk back. Is this the big one we're after? I don't know. Is it the bigger one, is it? Yes.
Yeah, that's my side.
Yeah. Good, good.
That's a good fish, Mark.
We've whittled through these smaller fish, and they've progressively got a little bit bigger. Then we went back to going to a little, a few small ones, and now we've got something that's half decent in that net now. And we know there's a lot bigger as well.
Yeah, it's definitely bigger, but this is
sweet. So we've had a few of these now, these smaller ones. So we're just going to do a quick lift, and then release, and then we'll have a look at this bigger one. There's another one. And then this other one. Now let's take a look at this big one. Let's get wet. Work our way up with them. I might have to go get some new clothes because I'm absolutely soaked. So the last part of the day has been really, really quiet. I've sat here, I've rebaited a couple of times, and nothing's happened. So all that activity that went on and the madness this morning has just petered out to nothing. So I think I hit the right time, didn't I, with the feeding pattern?
Yeah, all over the feeding hours, weren't you?
And then during that quiet period, you've disappeared off, haven't you? So
try to make something happen. I say, for anyone that don't know the venue, there's some lovely nooks, crannies, bays, weedy corners, fallen trees.
That's proper nice.
It's proper nice for stalking, right?
Yeah.
while we were here, tried to make the most of it. Tried to get a little bit of pre-bait going down now. We see the carp down now, and they're down now, but they're just not interested in feeding.
Yeah, when I was down, well, I went down and had a look yesterday, and then I come back in this corner, and if they was reacting where you were, the same as they was reacting just down here, they're just not interested.
Not interested.
They was mooching around, and I don't know, they looked like they was feeding on some form of natural in the weed.
Definitely.
And anything else, they just wasn't interested in.
It's always worth a go though, right?
Yeah.
You've got to try.
But the fish we've had have been out in this open water here,
Yeah.
so, you know, something to it, isn't it? Feeding fish out there, mopey fish in there. But yeah, so that's pretty much a wrap, isn't it? We've come to another end of another episode of Spotlight, and we're going to start reeling these rods in and make our way back to the car park. Well, this was the first time that we visited this venue, and it's been, to be fair, an absolutely cracking session. We've had loads of fish. We've also had a mirror, which we wanted to get, and more importantly, we managed to get one of those magical big older fish that are in this lake. There is another lake over the back. We've been speaking to the bailiffs and the people in the cafe that have provided us some fabulous food, and there's another lake over the back that have got some special stuff in there, and we're going to book up and try and get on that at a later date. So for the time being, as I said before by the swim, that's it, and we're off home, and it's going to take me about 2 hours to get back to Kent. So hope you enjoyed this episode, and catch you again soon.